Asian people started talking about boycotting black businesses. Now that to me was hilarious as hell because Asian people ain't never supported black businesses.
Now they want to boycott black businesses that they've never stepped a foot in.
So what's this nonsense now the Asians are talking about boycotting black businesses?
And while a lot of people from the Asian community have been showing their true colors lately about this boycott against them, I got to thinking, I ain't never seen y'all at Mama Lucy's over there in Miami. I ain't never seen y'all at Sunday's Eatery in Miami Gardens. I ain't never seen y'all at Sister Sarah's Crab House over there in Fort Lauderdale. I ain't never seen y'all at Shisha, the one in Hollywood or the one in Lauderhill. I ain't never seen y'all at the Dutch Pot or Donna's Caribbean restaurant. And these are all popular black-owned places down here in South Florida that I frequented one too many times. And I ain't never seen y'all there. So while y'all upset that we're no longer going to be patronizing y'all businesses, it seems like y'all ain't been patronizing ours from the beginning. Meaning this has always been a one-sided thing from the beginning. And now y'all upset because the one side is about to take their side back when y'all haven't been on our side to begin with. Oh well.
Hello everybody. Now things are getting even more interesting between Asian community and black community. It looks like somebody wants more pain than the one he already had. I mean, this situation seems to be escalating by the day. You see, Asian voices are now talking about boycotting black-owned businesses in response to the growing boycott campaign targeting some Asian-owned businesses, by black people. Black people agreed to boycott Asian businesses. But here's like the question, a beautiful question that the black Americans are now asking. I mean, how do you boycott businesses you were never supporting in the first place? How can I claim I'm stopping to loving you, right? I don't want to love you anymore. Yet I've never loved you before. I mean, let's just think about that for a second, because that is exactly why a lot of people are calling this reaction, strange. It's so insane. Some are even saying, this makes no sense at all. They argue that the little issue isn't the boycott itself. The little issue is the concerns that the concerns that sparked the boycott in the first place. That's the little issue about racism. Now, that's where this conversation starts getting, really interesting, because many people are asking why some individuals seem more upset about losing customers than they are about, the incidents and behavior that led to this backlash. They were supposed to be concerned that, oh my God, we were racist to these people. But look at it. They're being concerned, oh my God, we are losing customers. I mean, that is the question being raised over and over again. And honestly, it is a question that deserves to be discussed. So with that said, let's take a look at what black Americans are saying and what some Asians are saying, and then we'll be back for more commentary. If this is your first time, please can you subscribe so we can grow this community together. Let's dive into this.
Listen to what I'm saying, family. I seen it at work. I seen them. I sat in an Asian restaurant ordering food once, and I saw it for myself. I saw how attentive the Asian server was to the white couple compared to me and another Asian couple. Man, she was bending all over back, and they wasn't doing nothing special. And they wasn't nobody. It's just regular people. Yeah. Now that I think of it, I've even seen black people go overboard for other Asian people. Not Asian, but white people. Yeah, I've seen them, man. I've seen them like really go overboard. And then when it comes to their own people, they're just all regular, they don't have, the customer service just vanishes. Yeah, the good customer service is gone. In any event, fam, this boycott was at first just a concept. But when this guy right here hopped on the internet and started talking really reckless and daring black people to boycott Asian businesses, it turned all the way up. The threat became a reality. Hence, the boycott is in full effect right now as we speak. Black people all over this country are boycotting Asian-owned businesses. Now, I think that could be highly effective, but you can't just do it for a couple of days, and you can't just do it and wait on people to apologize. Because if all it takes is a few people to apologize, a few days to go by, even a few weeks or even a few months, and then what happens is it's just back to business as usual. All of the Asian community would be like, well, they'll be back. Just give it a little time. Right about now, one should be walking through the door. Right about now. That's how that go. Right about now, we'll have one walking through the door. Now, here's the thing, fam. After Black people decided that they were going to boycott the Asian businesses, Asian people started talking about boycotting Black businesses. Now, that to me was hilarious as hell, because Asian people ain't never supported Black businesses. I've never seen an Asian person at a Black restaurant. Like, let me back up. I'm lying. I've seen a few. Let me back up. I gotta call the striker and the ball. I've seen a few.
Now they want to boycott Black businesses that they've never stepped a foot in. I think we'll be all right. Most of us just cater to each other in the first place. So I think we'll be fucking fine. But enjoy the boycott, because we're doing a blackout. We're not boycotting. We are blacking you out forever.
So what's this nonsense? Now the Asians are talking about boycotting Black businesses. When have you ever been in our businesses? You don't even come the fuck in there. But like one creator said, y'all gonna try a boycott, bitch, we blacking y'all out. We gonna take y'all business out the sport. Boycott that. Fuck what you heard. Boycott our businesses. Y'all don't even patronize our businesses. Where's this shit coming from? Oh, I know, I forgot. Oh, bam. You mad because we say we gonna boycott because y'all won't call y'all people wrong when they wrong. Fuck you.
You don't need the black dollar. Here's the thing. Do what the white people did back in history when they hated us so much that they didn't even want our money. So how about you go create those businesses in the white neighborhoods? I'll wait. Okay, you can't. Exactly. Because they won't allow you to go build those businesses in their neighborhoods and circulate your dollar there, right? You have to come to our neighborhoods so you can circulate your money in our neighborhoods.
Baby, listen, why did I get racially profiled at a Black-owned beauty supply store in Fort Washington, Maryland? But before I went inside, baby, the first thing I noticed is that her shop was right next to a nail salon, which was what? Empty, honey, nobody in there. And on the other side of her shop, Top China, a takeout shop, baby. The owner was outside pacing left and right, wondering where in the world was the customers. I see y'all are taking this boycott seriously. So back to this Black-owned BS's beauty supply store, baby, where I got profiled in the best possible way, honey. I've never walked into a beauty supply store where the owner, let me say that one more time, the owner asked me what I needed and walked me right to the products that were best for my 4C low porosity hair, honey. She gave me the whole rundown of her own hair care routine, baby, and made sure that I brought the right stuff.
And make sure when you do your hair routine that you are doing the shampoo, a moisturizing conditioner, and always follow with the leave-in.
Yes.
If you're a natural hair girly, you want to do your leave-in before you start any styling.
And she had an entire section dedicated to just a Black-owned brands, baby. Oh, I loved it. I was only in Maryland for a bit, baby. I will be back, baby. This was the best customer service experience that I've ever received at a beauty supply store. Shout out to MVS in Fort Washington, Maryland, honey. Tag your favorite Black-owned nail salon shop or beauty supply store in the comments.
The way we finally decided to boycott some of these businesses brings to my mind the way that Black businesses have been boycotted by everybody. Like, every other race of people, including our own, have been boycotting Black businesses. Y'all don't see a lot of anything but us coming
If Black folks boycotting Asian businesses is what it takes to fast-track Asian folks into deconstructing their internalized white supremacy and anti-Blackness, so be it. Boycott. I didn't apologize to the Black community in my video yesterday so that y'all would magically trust me or forgive Asian people suddenly. I apologized to hold my people accountable, because the Asian community owes an apology, and the Black community deserves to receive an apology. Is it enough? No. But is it one grain of rice in the direction of repair? I believe so. Trust can only be rebuilt through action, so I will continue educating Asian folks in my life, both online and in real life, to deconstruct the internalized white supremacy and anti-Blackness, because Black folks are some of the most soulful, caring people I know, and y'all deserve better.
Remember when I said don't boycott, we gotta replace? This is what I'm talking about.
Our strategy is go as close as humanly possible to them. We're better and cheaper. Why not?
Replace these businesses in our community. You got to support each other. Every community has a niche, something that they're known for. We don't have to be known for just what the media portrays us as. We're not just athletes and performers. We're not here just to entertain folks. We are great business minds. We have businesses. We just need to find our niche and start that business today.
That's the American dream.
What business are you going to start today? Put it in the comments. If you don't know how, I can help you for free from conception to trademark. I've done it all. Drop ship to your TikTok shop, sell on TikTok, source stuff from Alibaba, AliExpress, I've owned properties, restaurant, nonprofit. I even had the first Uber courier service called Cabbies. I'll talk about that later. Sell these items, get it fulfilled by Amazon. I do all of that and I can help you too. So let's go.
I've been seeing this Asian business boycott all over my For You page. And honestly, here's my take on it. Now, I think the boycott has its rights and wrongs. Now, hear me out. For the people who are boycotting just strictly due to Carmelo and his case, I understand your frustration. I definitely do. But it's like on the same token, that's what racist people do to us. They take one situation and they just flip it on every Black person. So I don't feel like necessarily doing that, like in the same token, like really does anything. But for the people that are protesting, saying like this is just the tipping point of the iceberg, saying that like it's truly deeper than that. They don't like how we're treated by Asian businesses. They don't like how certain Asian businesses, you know, even look at Black people. They don't want Black people in their stores. They don't want to sell to Black people. They don't hire Black people, but they just want to make money off of us. That case is very true. I've seen that 100 times, and I've even seen multiple creators hop up on this app and talk about Black people as if we're not their #1 patrons. And you know what? My message to Black people is support that Black business. Like, don't do it out of hate towards Asians, but do it out of trying to lift up your brother or sister. Like, go to that Black-owned hair store, go to that Black-owned restaurant, shop from that Black-owned website, and yeah, like, now for the Asian side of things, I feel like as an Asian person, and I'm saying this as a Black man, you have to be like aware of just things that's going on. Like popping up on TikTok and making a video talking about some, oh, Black people, if we take away all your stores, where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna do this? Where are you gonna do that? Where are you gonna go to laundry? Where are you gonna get yours? Like, I feel like that's just so culturally unsensitive, for real, for real. Me as a Black person, there's so much stuff that happens to us, but you also have to be aware of certain reasons why certain things go on. Now, I'm not excusing anything. I'm not excusing any behavior, but for example, like say a group of 5 men, like, and I'm not saying this is real, I'm just using this strictly for context, but say a group of 5 Black men attack like an unarmed random white lady, and a bunch of white people go out and protest pertaining to the situation. As a Black man, you have to be aware of why that happened, what happened, and everything that did happen. I would never hop on TikTok and be like, this lady should have done da-da-da-da, white people are da-da-da-da-da. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess I kind of would, but that's different. You have to be aware of the shit that's going on. As an Asian person, you have to be aware that what that nigga did was wrong. And, you know, Black people are feeling some type of way towards the injustice that was happening towards them. Like, you know what I mean? And for you to hop on there and add more injustice on top of that and just come up here with this snarky attitude and just feel some type of way, like, oh, I want to slap my phone. Like, for real, that should be making me so mad.
Now, brothers and sisters, one thing that immediately stood out to me while I was listening to this, you know, powerful, interesting discussion is that many of the people here are not like simply talking about anger, okay? It's not just about anger. They are speaking about economics. It's about money, okay? It's about spending power. They're talking about respect and they're talking about reciprocity. Do to me what I do to you. That's all. Now, I think that's the very important distinction to make right from the beginning. Because, a lot of people will hear conversations like this and they automatically assume they will go to the conclusion immediately that is, maybe it's just about emotions, like black people are just emotional people. No. But when you actually, spend your time, listening closely, you realize there are deeper concerns being raised here, concerns that need serious attention. The first argument in the video is the claim that some Asian voices are threatening to boycott black businesses. Now, let me ask this question, a simple question. How can you boycott businesses that you were not supporting in the first place? I mean, let's just think about that for a moment. It's like somebody is coming to you with the papers of divorce, say, I don't want to live with you anymore. So these are papers of divorce. Can you sign? I'm divorcing you. Yet, you've never loved those people. You've never been in marriage with those people. You've never married them. I mean, it's the same situations. Looks like somebody's crazy here. So that's the point that keeps coming up, throughout the entire conversation. That these Asians never supported black in the first place. Now look at what they are saying. Several speakers mentioned black-owned restaurants, black-owned beauty stores. Others mentioned about, black-owned businesses they regularly visit. And their argument is very straightforward. They claim they rarely see Asian customers supporting those businesses. Some of these people have stores. And they are just testifying that, I've never seen Asian in my store. So when you hear threats of boycott, they do not see it as a serious threat. In fact, many of them seem to be like more confused than anything else. Okay? Because you are threatening to take away something from me you have never given me. I mean, just look at that. So from their perspective, what exactly is the takeaway here? What exactly? If a community has largely been supporting itself already, like black people have already, supported themselves, and they've even extended their support to Asians, to Latinos, to white people, then what support actually is being withdrawn here? What exactly? Black people always support themselves. That's the question being asked throughout this discussion. And honestly, it is a question that many people would probably want an answer to. Because the logic seems to be pretty simple and somehow obvious. You cannot take away something that was never being provided. You cannot withdraw support that was never there. And that is why many of the speakers sound more amused than worried, than concerned. It's just funny. It's like somebody has just cracked a joke. And you're not supposed to be afraid or to be worried. You just have to laugh because, it doesn't make sense. Their response is basically, wait a minute, how are you going to boycott businesses you were never patronizing anyway? How? I mean, how? Now, whether people agree or disagree with that argument, I think it is clearly one of the central points being made in this conversation. Now, the second argument is not really about money at all. It is about respect. Do to me what I do to you. And honestly, this might be where the emotions, become strongest. Because several speakers describe experiences where they felt like ignored, okay? Others describe situations where they felt like disrespected by these Asians. Some say they felt watched more closely than other customers. What do I mean? Okay, you go into an Asian shop as a black person. Those people will be looking at you not because they are just trying to pay attention at their customer, no, but they are thinking you run away with their product. You hide something in your bag that you don't want to pay to, like you want to steal. That's what other people are saying. Others felt like they received a different treatment. Okay, since they are black, they receive a different treatment. It's like all they want is your money. They don't care about you as a human being. It's like they're seeing a monkey with the money, so all they want is that money. What's that? We are all human beings. It doesn't make sense what these Asians do. Now, are all businesses the same? Let's also have that question. Of course not. And are all people the same? Absolutely not. But the important thing here is how these individuals experienced those situations. Because perception really matters. What I'm seeing when I'm going to these Asians really matters. Okay, feelings matters, experiences matters. Okay, if a large number of customers repeatedly say they feel unwelcome, and those people being black people only, I mean, we cannot say Asians are just like, they're just, what should I say? They're just rude people. If they do the same to white people, they do the same to fellow Asians, they do the same to Latinos, they do the same to black people, maybe we can just say maybe it's just their problem. But they only do that to black people. Why? Why would they do that? I mean, that's where, eventual frustration is going to build. Okay, why only black people? That should not surprise anybody. I mean, a business relationship is supposed to work both ways. You do to me respect, you do to me favor, I do to you respect and do to you favor. Customers bring their money. Businesses provide like products, services. It's that simple. And businesses provide respect. Just like, customers respect those shops. Because when I decide to go at a certain shop, it means in the first place, I'm respecting them. I'm trusting them. They will give me what I want, like that product. They will provide the service I want. That's the respect. But if customers begin to feel like they are valued only for their spending power while being looked down upon at the same time, then eventually people are going to start questioning that relationship. Is this a symbiotic relation that I benefit from you as equally as you benefit from you? There's no symbiosis. And that appears to be exactly what is happening here. And that's what is bringing more chaos and more disagreement between Asians and black people. And the third argument is probably the strongest one in the entire discussion: economic power. Yeah. Now, this is where the conversation becomes really funny, interesting, because some speakers are saying something very different from, they're saying, something which is way different from boycotting itself. It's beyond never buying from Asians anymore. They're talking about redirection. They're talking about investment. They're talking about community development. And in other words, they're just saying, instead of focusing entirely on where money should not go, why not focus on where money should go, right? Because boycott can be in form of, you're just furious that we don't want these people anymore. But when you are more reasonable, you look at redirection. Right? Instead of wasting our energy not going there, let's use our energy to go somewhere else, somewhere useful. That is completely different mindset. That is really going to change black community forever. Being able to stand together. It shifts the conversation from punishment, because they're not punishing Asians. It's like they're just teaching them to know how to respect other people. Otherwise, those people can go anywhere else. And toward construction, away from anger, toward ownership, away from dependency, toward some sort of resilience. Now, think about that. If black people can do that, then I think they need respect. Okay? They need respect. Their spending power is as much important as the respect they deserve as black people. Okay? It's just something so simple. Now, one person decides not to stop somewhere anymore. That is one thing. But thousands of people deciding to support businesses within their own community, that is something entirely different. That creates, opportunities. That creates jobs within black communities. It creates jobs. And that creates growth at the community, financial growth. We're talking of financial growth and also solidarity. There is growth in unity, because as long as black people can say one thing and they do that, that's ownership. I mean that's some sort of solidarity. They are owning the thing. They are owning their money as the community. And many of the speakers seem to believe that this approach is far more powerful in long run, because building something lasting is usually more effective than simply protesting something temporary. It's not just about emotions, okay? It's about choosing like, how do we move forward? How do we rebuild our community? Okay, that's why even if these black people have forgiven Asians, they'll still buy black-owned products. Why? They have restructured. They have decided, how do we grow as a community financially, okay, respect-wise, as a human being? How do we grow that other people will not look at us and, I hope you get what I mean. Now, the fourth argument centers around accountability. And this is another point that came out like repeatedly throughout the discussion, throughout this video. You see, some speakers believe that certain concerns raised by black consumers have not been taken seriously enough over a long period of time. Others believe that some individuals became defensive instead of listening, and that frustration appears throughout the conversation. Because accountability is something very important. It's something every community talks about. It's not only in black community. Every community wants fairness. Every community wants understanding. Every community wants respect. But accountability has to work both ways. Yes, as a community, you want respect, but are you willing to give it? You receive what you give. Remember, there's golden rule. Do to others what you want them to do to you. That's simple. You want respect as Asian community, but are you willing to give that respect? If you're not giving, how do you expect me to treat you well, yet you're not treating me well? How? That is the point being made here. That's the main point. If concerns are raised, the people expect those concerns to be acknowledged at least. If frustrations are like expressed, the people expect those frustrations to be heard. And when people feel like they're ignored, the situation usually becomes worse than it was. It doesn't become better. That is simply how human nature works. Which brings us to the fifth argument. The fifth argument is, honestly, this might be the most important one for. It's the last one, but it's the most important, I hope. It's about self-resilience. Okay? Self-resilience. And also, we cannot talk about self-resilience as a black community without, having them to rely on themselves. So, okay, let's just say self-resilience and reliant. Okay, because when you really listen to the discussion throughout this video, the conversation, eventually stops being about Asian businesses, starts becoming about black businesses. That is a major difference here. Several speakers repeatedly, emphasized the idea that the goal is not simply to complain. The goal is not simply to protest. The goal is not simply to argue online. Okay, the goal is to build. Building what? Building businesses, building wealth, building jobs, like creating job opportunities, building networks. As black people, they need a stronger network. It's some sort of building ownership, building economic strength, building, unity within black people. Because if I see black people are coming to buy me as a black person, it means I'll have even more faith in my own race, rather than I'm growing my business, and when I look at the more customers, they are Asians, not my own people. What would I think about my own people? I'll see them as we are not supportive. But if I see my business growing, and the majority of the customers are black people, and they pay, that's better. And let's also not forget that somebody also emphasized the fact that yes, we are buying black owned, but as black people, let's also try to have good products, good services, and I'm sure black people can do that. I have faith in black people. I'm sorry for that. I have too much faith in black people. So that message resonates far beyond America. It resonates in America. In Africa. Okay, in Europe, anywhere around the world, trying to strengthen their communities. Okay, because strong communities are usually built on strong institutions, stronger businesses, unity, strong families, strong support systems. And now, whether someone agrees with every point made in this video or not, or you don't agree, but one thing is clear and one thing is obvious. The people speaking are expressing concerns that they believe have existed for a long time. So it's like black people have reached a point where they say enough is enough. They're not talking about economics alone. They're talking about respect. Okay, they are talking about accountability. They are talking about some sense of, belonging as black people. Okay, just community empowerment. But perhaps the biggest takeaway from this entire discussion is this. And don't forget to tell me what you also think can be the biggest takeaway from your perspective, what you have learned from this. The most effective response to any perceived disrespect is success. I hope you get what I mean. The most effective response to any perceived disrespect is success, not endless arguments, not endless social media battles, not endless back and forth exchanges. Success, that's what really matters. Building businesses, creating opportunities, supporting entrepreneurs, black entrepreneurs, developing ownership as black people, and strengthening, community. Because as black people, whatever a black person owns, as long as that thing is in my community of black people, I still own that. You get what I mean? Okay, it's some sort of ownership. Whatever belongs to a black person, it's my thing. Why? It's in my community. That thing is building, is strengthening my community financially. And if my community is being strengthened financially, the more voice it has, so I'll benefit. So that's why I'm saying it's about ownership. Because when community becomes economically strong, it gains something that's far more valuable than temporary online victories. It gains independence. And judging from everything they said throughout this discussion, I can say bravo, black people. Don't worry that these people are boycotting. Yeah, their boycott, it won't be failed because whatever they want to take away from black people, whatever they are withdrawing, has never existed. Okay, so that appears to be the destination many of these speakers, like ultimately, want to reach. That we black people, let's build ourselves. Let's just focus on ourselves. Let's just buy black owned. What do you think? Let's discuss in the comment section. I love that you came to watch the video, and I would love to grow this community with you. If this is your first time, I can kindly ask you to subscribe and share your views, share your thoughts. See you next time, and I'm proud of you.